There has been a lot of people talking about the new Guild Wars 3 announcement, but it's mostly speculation as there's not that much information about the whole project. That being said, there is a lot of information from back in the day from the unannounced project that might give us a few hints on one, whether, Guild Wars 3 is the unannounced project and has been worked on for over 2 years, or if it's not, and if we can make some conclusions over that. Let's see if this is the case. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So first, we're gonna start with the things that we already know, and they're kind of confirmed. We have this mega thread from Guild Wars 2 Reddit talking about everything that's been said about the topic. This is mostly non-speculation things. These are just the things that have happened. Then later on, we'll talk about the new stuff, right? But I want to give a bit of a summarize. First of all, TLDR as of this moment, Guild Wars has not been approved and is not being developed. It is in a review stage where NCSoft may decide to greenlight it and start development. The Guild Wars 3 was dropped during an NCSoft shareholders meeting in Korea, and after the event was confirmed as being in the review stage of approval with no active development at this time. ArenaNet has been confirmed. Multiple Guild Wars 2 expansions are actively in development, so there is no end to Guild Wars 2 in the near future. Guild Wars 2 has at least 2+ more years of content already announced as is in development. Even if Guild Wars 3 started development today, it will be several years of development before release, if it could even release this decade, and if it's not starting development today, and of course if it doesn't get cancelled. Because the Guild Wars 3 product is only in the review stage, there is very possibility that it is shut down and does not happen. The gaming industry is very volatile right now and investments are very low. I do think this whole post and the way they phrase this is a bit, on the it's never gonna happen thing, and I kind of agree that it is, but let's not kid ourselves. They are, exploring new possibilities. They have been, I most likely been thinking about this, for a long time, at least for like the 2 years, as I'm gonna show soon, kind of almost convince you that, the unannounced project has been this entire time this Guild Wars 3. That doesn't mean that it's gonna actually release, but yeah. And then ArenaNet also said, as an active games studio, we are always doing internal exploratory work for possible future titles we want to create. However, we have nothing to confirm right now. The team is focusing on Guild Wars 2 development, including the game's next expansion, which we're excited to talk about soon. Now, this is actually very interesting, and I do kind of agree with them in the sense that they are mostly focusing on Guild Wars 2. We actually had a video I'm just gonna say it, I called it, okay? A few months ago, I made this video, is Guild Wars 3 actually coming? And you know what? I'm very happy that I was a bit right about that one, and everyone called me copium on that video, and I just want to take the win on that one, because I was right. Oh, there you go. Now, there is another video that I made. No, this one is not. This is not the one. Oh, yes. Is Guild Wars 2 getting abandoned by another MMO by ArenaNet? And what we use to more or less have an idea of how many people play, were working in Guild Wars 2, at least back in the day, was that we used this, grouch statement of, hey, this amount, we had this amount of people working on Living Wars Season 4. We grabbed the amount of people that were working on Living Wars Season 4 on Guild Wars 2, and we used that to extrapolate it to, compare it to what we have right now and how many people are hired in ArenaNet. And, as we had 336 people working on ArenaNet, well, it was a ballpark, right? So on the minimum, on the LinkedIn of ArenaNet, we had an idea, and we also had we knew that 257 people were working more or less on Living Wars Season 4 back in the day. This gave us, around 76% of the company is working on Guild Wars 2 at the moment, right? Now, the number on how many people actually work on ArenaNet could be higher, and this would change a little bit of things, right? For example, if they had like 400 people, there's going to be less of a percentage of people working on Guild Wars 2 compared to the unannounced project, but we honestly can't really tell that, and I just, used it as the minimum. So there you go. If we have, more numbers of that, I will definitely update it, but until then, this is the only number we can actually use for. After this, we can actually say that most likely they have most people working on Guild Wars 2 rather than in this unannounced project, right? Now, we also have some information about what the unannounced project, what the unannounced project is, right? Like, what does it entail, right? So with this ArenaNet jobs that they were asking for Unannounced project, we can actually make a bit of a, you know, assumption of what they were asking for this Unannounced project. And these are the conclusions we had. It was a PC console, free-to-play online game with, you know, they were asking for MMORPG experience for this, for the people that got hired for this job. And we knew that there was Guild Wars 2 assets reused on it, as there was this little line here from a Guild Wars 2, what's the word? Guild Wars 2 developer, talking about how they were, you know, one of the jobs was to write experimental Python tools to export vertex animations, so the animations from Guild Wars 2, as textures from Maya, the Guild Wars 2, you know, what they used to make animations, into Unreal Engine 5, which is what the Unannounced project, you know, but that's the engine that the Unannounced project is on, right? For animating statics, meshes, and mesh particle creatures, right? So essentially, we know that they're, you know, they're moving certain things from Guild Wars 2 into this Unreal Engine 5. Right, and as I talked, you know, we can go check here. You know, the reason why I made these conclusions on the PC console free to play is like, you know, they're literally asking for it. Look at that. So they're asking for people who have, you know, console and PC platform experience. They also have asking for people who have MMORPG genre, basic or better understanding of the genre. And they were also asking for, and they also said that they need 5+ years of experience and in publishing and live operation of free-to-play online games. So we know that this most likely is going to be a, you know, as we said before, PC console free-to-play online game MMORPG with Guild Wars 2 assets reused on it. So, I mean, could it be something else than Guild Wars 3? Yes, it could, but what is the possibilities of we getting, you know, not only they're working on Guild Wars 3, but they're also working on another MMO at the same time, other than Guild Wars 2, and they're essentially juggling 3 MMOs at the same time. I don't see it. I don't believe it. There's no way. There's no way they have enough people and enough money to actually be juggling this many stuff, right? Well, also, you know, doing Guild Wars 2 and getting expansions every year, right? That being said, some people have been talking about this is just the Horizon MMO, as we knew that ArenaNet and NCSoft were helping on Horizon MMO. By giving them a few, you know, developers and, you know, helping them make the game. But there was also another article back in the day, this one, right? The Horizon MMO title leaks, hints from an official announcement might be near, and they talk about a lot of stuff. They even show us a few tweets. That's actually not the one I wanted, but that's okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah, there's the tweet, and they also, you know, ask for hiring, you know, about certain jobs and everything. And there's another one that is in German that actually shows us a very interesting quote here, right here. And this one in particular essentially says that the main, this is obviously, yeah, it's an article, so there is some sort of like opinion based. It's not completely facts, but essentially said that they got told that most of the people that working on the Horizon MMO that, you know, that NCSoft is working on, right, that they're helping with, were from the people who make Lineage, not Guild Wars 2. So it kind of makes the rumor that people from Guild Wars 2 are getting moved to another MMO kind of invalid, right? And I actually checked this as well, back in the day in a video. I'll link it in the description. But I was checking a bit about the, you know, positions that ArenaNet was hiring for the Unannounced project, and the ones that Guerrilla Games, the ones that do Horizon, were hiring from as well. And most of the time, no, actually not most of the time, the careers were not really the same ones, right? The openings were not the same for the same jobs in the same areas either. So it didn't really seem like they were really working on the same thing. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that the Unannounced project isn't the Horizon MMO for all of these reasons. I actually also think that it would be kind of weird for them to put so much effort into an unannounced project that is not even theirs. You know, put in that much. You know, not only they're taking away people from Guild Wars 2 to work on this project, but they're also hiring in the same website as well. It just seems weird. It just didn't make any sense. I'm sure that some people might have got in there and help a little bit because NCSoft asked them to, but I really don't think this, you know, Horizon MMO is the real, you know, is the unannounced project. It's just very unlikely. I just don't think so. There's just no way, right? So in conclusion, what do we actually know? If we assume that the Guild Wars 3 is the Unannounced project listing in the ArenaNet website. We know that this is a PC console game in Unreal Engine 5 that is free to play, online game that requires MMORPG experience and is using Guild Wars 2 assets reused on it. We also know that it is not the Unannounced the Horizon MMO, and we also know that they've been hiring this for over 2 years. And we also know that even though they have been hiring for 2 years, most of the people working on ArenaNet are working on Guild Wars 2, and not Guild Wars 3. Now, we also know that, it's not been approved and it's only in the review stage. So honestly, this could be cancelled at any point. But I think it is fair to say that they're looking into some other project that can, or essentially work with the Guild Wars 2 at the same time, or in some way maybe, well, I really hope not, but because I don't think it would be the right decision, but in some way maybe even replace it. And I understand that doesn't mean that the Guild Wars 3 is gonna come out tomorrow or anything like this. Of course not. Even though they have been hiring for 2 years, it's still barely in the review stage, right? Development takes a long time as well. And sure, the reused assets might help a little bit making Guild Wars 3, regardless of what it is. And we'll definitely talk about in another video what the Guild Wars 3 could be, and what are the possibilities, and what's positive and what's negative. But it just doesn't seem like it's gonna come in anytime soon. But that being said, of course, they definitely, I think, have been working on it and are considering a possibility for a long time. I don't think, because there's been like this theory being like, oh, the NCSoft, the NCSoft people from the shareholders meeting, they just said Guild Wars 3 just to like appease the shareholders. And I'm sure that there is a little bit of that, especially leaking it, because they shouldn't have. But I don't think this hasn't been planned out for a bit of time. I don't think it was just like a thing that they came into their minds and they just said it. I think Guild Wars 3 indeed has been, been thought about by ArenaNet and NCSoft. Now, whether NCSoft made them, start working on this project or not, who knows? We don't really know. We might make a video about that or not. But yeah, there's a lot of information that you can actually get from checking out the NCSoft. Checking at the Unannounced project listings, and I'm very confident that this is the Guild Wars 3, and I'm gonna keep going in there and checking the listings and see if I can get a bit of more information. It could be that ArenaNet is not in the they don't have the power to say more about the Unannounced project, but who knows? Maybe they just give it a few hints on the listings, enough to keep us appeased. Instead of just going out and said exactly what we want to hear, right? Which would be, would be nice. Who knows? Maybe they put in a listing, need experience, need experience moving weapons from, Maya Engine, or Maya to Unreal Engine 5, and then we're like, oh wait, maybe they're talking about, the legendary weapons going to the new Guild Wars 3 guys. Oh, who knows, right? It's really, it's gonna be very fun to speculate about this, and definitely it's gonna be one of the things that I really care about to do for these next years until we have more information. But yeah, we'll be there. We'll be checking everything in, so I can tell you guys, and we can have a good decision on what to do ourselves. I will talk about this in another video, but there's a lot of people being like, oh, I want to continue the game. It's 7 years from now. Who cares? Who cares about Guild Wars 3? Which is completely reasonable. And a lot of people also who have been saying, oh, I'm gonna quit because now we know that Guild Wars 3 is coming. What's playing Guild Wars 2? I think there's honestly good arguments in both sides, and at the end of the day, you should do whatever you feel like it. You shouldn't have to justify your feelings and what you want to play or not want to play, and you shouldn't care if someone else stops playing. If you like it, you should play, and that's it, right? But I definitely will make a video about that. Maybe I call it "Should You Quit Guild Wars 2" or something like that. But I'll try to be as reasonable as possible, so we can all make a good decision on everything. I'm personally gonna keep playing the game because I love it. And what am I gonna do for the next 7 years? Just sit there and wait? That doesn't really sound right. Okay, but yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Tell me if I missed anything. Tell me if you have any more information that I completely missed. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me in the description. And see you guys around. Love you all. Bye-bye.